I think the best thing or best advice I have about studying is to not procrastinate and split your studying up in chunks on different days. Specifically for math and science, I think studying in a group is the most effective way to be successful, and for English and history, study in a quiet place.
I think some good study habits for sure, if you can find a Quizlet. Quizlet's always been helpful, especially in Spanish classes or classes where you need, vocab and stuff like that to memorize. Quizlet's always been there for me, and then like with math, I've always, resorted to Khan Academy because there's some great videos online for Khan Academy to help me with some things that I don't understand.
I think for me, I get really distracted at home, and so because there's my family's around, I have my phone, computer, that kind of thing, and so I think that going to another place, specifically I like to leave my phone in my car or leave my phone at home. And such as like a coffee shop or to the library, those are two really good places that I like to go.
I keep a planner and I update it every day. It really helps me see how my week is and everything that I have to do that day or the next day is upcoming. Yeah, I really recommend it. You can get them free at the ASB store. Another way to do it too is just don't overload yourself. Do things that you're passionate about, and don't do anything just because you think that it's gonna look good for college. Do it because you want to.
I always kind of like schedule things out. So let's just say like I'll be at school, I'll leave school, I'll maybe give myself like a couple hours to socialize, but then after that's over I go home and usually cram back to school.
So I play volleyball, and it's kind of a big commitment after school, but basically I just try to get my work done as soon as I can and try not to procrastinate, because the quicker you get your work done, the more time you have to relax on weekends and go hang out with friends on weekends, and that's something I like to prioritize because I love hanging with my buddies, and the more time I get with them, the happier I am.
I think the best opportunities are found in involvement of leadership groups. There's PAL, HRC, AYS, ASB, EAT. Those are great opportunities to just meet new people and step into that leadership role. A lot of people look up to you when you're in that role, and it just gives you a platform to make our campus a better place.
I think at CdM there's a lot of ways to get involved. There's a lot of clubs that you can join during Club Rush, a lot of leadership groups.
I was so encourage you to try out for AYS, HRC, youth and government, speech and debate, look into the theater program, look into different sports. There's a lot of different things that you can do and get involved with. I would just say go with your interests, because it's really not going to be fun if you're just doing something just to do it.
It really depends per class. This year I'm a junior, and this year I have a lot of homework in biology, and because I'm in AP Bio, and then also in AP Psychology. But if you take, it's really doable, and you can spread everything out and just do it all. But try not to overload yourself, like I said before, because that really is going to stress you out. And if you just take a certain amount of classes, then the workload will be fine.
Honestly, I'm gonna be honest, homework in high school isn't really that bad. I always kind of thought it was maybe a little bit harder than middle school. Obviously the AP classes gives you a little bit more homework, but my advice is that unless you really like the subject, don't take the AP. So if you are considering to take AP Bio but you don't really like science, just don't take it because you're not going to enjoy it.
Okay. So if you're taking an AP class, do expect some more homework than the regular classes. But for me, I would say math classes and English classes are the ones who get more homework out. English is more reading mostly, and math is just doing some word problems every single day, so be ready for that.
I've loved my high school experience at CdM. I think it's really prepared me for the next steps in life. I don't really know where I'm going yet, but there's a lot of opportunities out there for everyone, and I think the best part about it is the school spirit and just being involved in something I love, which is ASB and lacrosse. The hardest thing about it has been finding a good group of friends that will always stick by me, and it took a while, but I found them.
My high school experience has been pretty good so far. It's been hard, like scheduling, like balancing like social life and like extracurriculars in my sport and my classes. But I think I figured it out.
High school experience has been great, I would say. I mean, the best thing about it is just kind of the memories you make with all your buddies and kind of all the high school sports you go out to support or play in, and all the new friends you make and just certain classes that you wouldn't think you'd be friends with these kids. And I'd say the hardest part about high school is how fast it's gone by, because if time flies, and you gotta really take all your memories with these kids, or don't take all these memories for these kids for granted, because I mean you only get high school for 4 years and it's a super fun time, so take advantage of it for sure.
I would say yes, most people do have jobs, but a lot of them are summer jobs, and they don't really happen your freshman year, sophomore year. You mainly get them in the summer of your junior year and senior year. Personally, I have a job, but it's not very demanding, and it's a lot of fun. It teaches you things that school never could, and just shows you how to be a good role model. For example, me, I coach volleyball on Sundays, so it teaches you a lot of things that you shouldn't do, and as how you find them, you could apply to jobs all around. For me, it just goes through my volleyball club, so it was a lot easier. But if you're really passionate about, there are a lot of ways to get involved and a lot of research, and your counselors and the people on campus, the adults, will all help you.
So I do have a job. I work at a yoga studio called Raw Yoga. I'm not a teacher. I just work in the front desk, and I get to just basically interact with people. I would recommend finding a job where the shifts are shorter, just so that you can kind of break up your time working better and being able to manage your time on a school night. For example, last night I worked from 3 to 7, but I still had time after I got out of school to kind of chill out before I went, if I had any type of homework. I would say a lot of people have jobs, but it isn't a commonality every single person has one. I would say for finding jobs, seriously just start going into places that you actually like working at and asking. Just ask whoever's working, are you taking applicants?
So with the friends that I have, most of them do have a job. I started my job the summer of sophomore year, so I had been working at the job since junior year, and for me the hours were kind of long. It was sometimes it was, if I was working in the morning, on the weekend, it was from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and it was a very long time for me, and I also had to do some homework besides, but I usually would get it done. But like I said, when I was going to senior year, too much stuff was on my plate, so I did have to drop my job. It's the first thing that I dropped because school is more important, obviously. In regards to how people find jobs, you can hear from word of mouth, from your friends. I got my friends' jobs at the place that I worked at, which is Sugar and Spice on blah blah blah.
Personally, I love school, so I'm always excited to come. I think ASB makes me excited to come, but also just learning in general. And I take classes that I'm interested in, so I always want to be at school and have those good conversations that will really make an impact on my learning.
Overall, I'm pretty excited to come to school. I love everybody here. I consider them a big part of my life, and I actually enjoy all the classes I take and all the teachers I have. I don't think it would be the same without them.
It actually depends on the day, and it really helps if your first class is one that you really like. But luckily my first class on odd days is AP Ling, which is amazing. I love that class. It's AP English, basically, for those of you who don't know, for juniors. It's so much fun, and so I love doing that, waking up with my cup of coffee, going into Lang.